What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Ravens fans, you guys have to be having the best night ever because Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Linderbaum as your haul for the first round is an excellent, excellent haul. I love this for the Ravens. I'm a kind of a closet fan of them. I've always kind of rooted for them a little bit, not like a diehard or anything like that, but they've always been players on the team that I just liked. I want to talk about why this draft is so good for them and why they're winners of the draft for me. Before I get into it, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. I really, really appreciate it. Let's hop into Kyle Hamilton because let's be honest, the dude was probably a top 5 player in the draft. And in my opinion, he's probably the best rookie. I think he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's just how talented I think he is. He reminds me a lot of Derwin James. Big, physical, strong, has some speed. I just think you couldn't have gone wrong with him. The dude was probably a top 5 prospect, and he fell to 14. You got that level of player that far down in the draft. He was the best safety in the draft. Like, no matter how you look at it, he's the best safety that was in the entire draft. So getting somebody that's the best at their position that should have been picked a lot higher in the middle of the draft, excellent, excellent pick. Like I said, getting a top tier player at 14, you can't go wrong there. And I feel like one of my favorite reasons for why I like the Ravens getting him is, he gives them the attitude in the secondary that they really haven't had since Ed Reed. I know they had Earl Thomas and Tony Jefferson, but like, I don't know. I think Kyle Hamilton is just going to be one of those players because Earl Thomas was in the end of his career there. So I think he's going to be a younger version where it's like there's that juice in the secondary for the first time in many, many years, in my opinion. And I think one of the best things you can get out of a safety is one that is versatile. And I think he's going to be able to play in a lot of different spots on the field. He's obviously going to be able to play as a regular safety, single high safety. He's going to be able to play a lot of different coverages. He's going to be able to play a little bit as a linebacker, I think. And if you've ever watched the Ravens defense, they love players that can play in multiple positions. I think it's going to fit out. I think it's going to work out perfectly. You can have him as a rusher. You can get like when you can have versatility and just mixing that kind of player around, it just gives you like an edge to your defense, and it makes your defense that much harder to game plan for because you never know where the guy might be on the field. So I think getting him at 14, just an absolute steal. I think it's a steal of the draft, in my opinion. Jermaine Johnson to the Jets, I think it was like 27 or whatever. That was a good steal, but I think Kyle Hamilton's the guy because I'm in love with the talent that he has on display. I just feel like he's gonna be so good. Like I made a tweet earlier because I am a Eagles fan. So I was like, oh, of course we pass up on the surefire Hall of Famer and take a defensive tackle that's going to be the third on the depth chart. But, that's just me being irritated as Eagles fan. Seeing him go to the Ravens, I was like, oh, cool. Because I root for Lamar, so I was like, okay, cool. Like, he gives them some edge there and I'm rooting for him. So, getting him in a spot where I'm not, I like the fit. Good for me. I'm cool with it. Now, the other reason that they won this draft, Tyler Linderbaum, getting him at center or right guard, wherever they decide to put him, probably center more than likely. Love it. I absolutely love it because if you think about it, Lamar was just running for his life last year. And as a result, he got injured. And, not to hate on Tyler Huntley or anything like that, but you want Lamar Jackson to be healthy because if he's not healthy, the team's not going to go as far as you need it to go. And getting a center that's going to be in there protecting for him. A lot of times centers can kind of be the QB of the line, like in terms of getting everybody set, calling out where the linebackers are going to be, calling out different like schemes that they can see ahead of time. That's going to help the quarterback. So, you did Lamar a solid. And if you've watched Ravens football offense or anything like that, they run a lot of like inside zone scheme kind of stuff where it's like halfback draws, QB draws, and a lot of them are not meant to be bounced outside. Like you don't see that happen too often. It's a lot of cutting between the guards and the centers. Just whenever I watch them, that's what I see a lot. So getting a player that is probably going to be a very, very good player and probably going to end up being an all-pro or something. He was the best center in the draft. So you get the best player at his position in the draft. And anytime you do that with two different spots, safety and center, which are two very, very huge positions in the game of football, I think you win. So I really like what they did. You can never go wrong with protecting Lamar Jackson and giving him more time in the pocket to make the right reads and stuff like that, or giving him another lead blocker. You can never go wrong doing that. The ESPN made a great they showed like a little clip or whatever of Tyler Linderbaum as a wrestler. He was mauling Tristan Wirfs. Tristan Wirfs is one of the best tackles in the entire league. Taking a guy like that down and pinning him, that shows a lot of strength and a lot of power. And a center that knows how to use leverage, especially because he's not the tallest guy. And I feel like that's where people like, oh, he's not a big center. A lot of the best centers in the league are not very tall. Like they're about 6 foot usually, maybe a little bit less than that. They're usually shorter, kind of stockier players. So like I don't get that notion that like, oh, you need to be some 6'3" center. Like what happens when now Lamar Jackson can't see over the guy? It just seems stupid to me. But it's a little bit of a side tangent there. I love the pick of Tyler Linderbaum. I think that's a perfect fit with him and Lamar and any like J.K. Dobbins getting healthy. I think just the way it's coming out for them is really nice. Kyle Hamilton, possibly the best player in the draft. We'll see when it's all said and done in 10 years or whatnot. But love it. Love it. Ravens fans, you guys should be so stoked for this because your team just got a lot better on the first day of the draft, and there's still more to come. They traded Marquise Brown, so I think that they might be looking at a receiver later on, but they got Rashad Bateman. I like him as a talent. I think he's going to be a very, very good player. Putting him as a number one receiver now makes a lot of sense. They spent a first on him last year, so I see the logic of what they're doing. I just like it. I like what the Ravens did. Ravens fans, let me know how you feel about your draft in the comments. If you like the picks, if you wanted other players or whatnot, let me know. I'm all here for it. I loved these two. I thought they were the two most obvious picks that they could have made. So anytime you make the ones that are, yeah, you should have done that. You didn't try and outsmart the rest of the league like some teams do. So you just make the smart. Everybody knows who you should pick. I love it. I'm done here. Peace.